Hi friends, I thought I'd share with you one of the challenges I'm facing as I try to do some artwork here at home. Maybe you can benefit from what I'm learning. I think one of my weaknesses is composition. I can pretty much make things look like they look, but I never give much thought to composition, and I think it makes my paintings look a little more amateurish than necessary. And I learned that there's 4 different types of common compositions, and let me show you what I mean by that. This is a painting that I always liked, that I did maybe 10 years ago. I chose the photograph because I liked the design on the fabric, both in the head kerchief and the shirts. But what I did was line them all up, running across the center. Not very interesting composition. My instructor, after the fact, told me that I should put these bags maybe, which is the nuts that the ladies are working on, in the front. Might add some interest and cause your eye to go in and break up this line that I created straight across the back. So obviously it was sort of an ad hoc effort to make it a better composition, but had I given some thought to it, I would have had this woman, one of the women, larger, maybe at an angle, coming in, having the woman at the end. There's a lot of different things I could have done other than just line them up. So over here are I tried to make it useful to you, if I can hold this still. There's the 4 different methods of composition. Over here is the one that I think I like the best. It's sort of a cantilever effect. So one side, maybe it's one big tree, maybe it's a big building, is large and it's off to the side. There's something that is a little balance or interest for the eye over here. It's not in the center. And it's bigger, so it's like a cantilever. It makes for an interesting composition, don't you think? The tunnel might be a building in the distance, might be a person walking in the snow, could, whatever your reference picture is. But instead of just having it on a horizon line, obviously not sitting in the center, but even sitting by itself, it doesn't have as much impact as if trees or whatever leading to it. So maybe you've got a building and you've got other buildings leading to it. You've got a child playing in the distance, but you have larger things in the foregrounds pointing your eye to that smaller in the distance. You've got a road leading in the distance. So that's called a tunnel composition, and it works really well under certain circumstances. This is the horizon line. Well, we all know what that is, and we know not to put it in the center. So if we put it at the upper portion like it is here, then we have all this to play with. So we could have an estuary there. We've got flowers in the foreground. Makes sense to put the horizon line higher because then we'll have more ground to paint. If we do the opposite and lower it, then we have a beautiful sky to paint. So give some thought to where your horizon line is so that you're putting it in the appropriate place for the painting. No point in having it right in the middle and you don't have enough room then to show the beautiful sky. And this one is what they call the golden section. The page is divided into thirds, horizontally and vertically. Where there's a juncture are the spots that make for a most effective composition. A wildlife painter will almost always choose this because that's where the eye would go. That's where, if there's a big mouth in the animal, that's where it would go. You can see I just scribbled in an eyeball and a beak there, but the rest of the body has plenty of room to be developed. Let's see, I tried to do something here. That's obviously a painting of 3 seashells. tried to give it a little thought before I plopped them down wherever they might have fallen before, and I divided the canvas into thirds, horizontally and vertically. And I took that as my center of interest, made a seashell there, darkened it to give it more prominence. What I didn't realize was that this seashell on the right was going to come out better. And of course now your eye goes over there and sort of falls off the side of the canvas. And the sea urchin at the bottom also sort of got developed and it looked a little more interesting, and that's falling off the bottom. So what I need to do is make this one that's supposed to be my center of interest more interesting. So I'm going to introduce its own colors, maybe give it some stripes here, and make this my center of interest. And then these two will complement it. They'll take the eye into the painting and up to the center of interest. So what I'm doing is just giving it more thought than I ever did before. And maybe when I'm done, I'll have a more sophisticated painting. Maybe this helps. I hope so. I'd love to see your efforts, and I'm sure everyone else would. So share. Bye.